Monster Movie Media presents.
Welcome to Creepy Kingdom, a podcast all about the creepiness of the Disney films and theme parks. I am your host, Mr. James H. Carter II, and welcome to the 31 creepy days of Halloween. Every day this October, Creepy Kingdom will be releasing a brand new episode counting down to Halloween. 26 mini episodes and 5 full-length regular ones are coming your way. You can follow along at home by going to creepykingdom.com. On today's episode, Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party Week comes to a close. I know what you're saying. It's only Thursday. The week's not over. Well, we got a full-length episode for you tomorrow, and it sure as heck is not about Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, as we've been rocking along all week, having great, fun, spooky, creepy episodes all about it. Tonight, I'm sure it's nighttime, right? This episode will be no different as I tell you and Roxy the very end of my time at Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, where I was almost alone in the mansion. Since the rain was really bad, they decided they're going to tap out since they're locals. You know? And I would say that was about... It was a little after 11 they left. So I still had an hour of not so scariness there. This is my last time in the park. This is it. This is the end of the night. This was my last day at Walt Disney World. And I wasn't going to leave at 11. I was staying right to the very end. So I'm like, all right, what do I need to do here? I'd gone on everything in Magic Kingdom I wanted to do. My checklist was all off. I think the only thing I didn't get to do that I wanted to do was Jungle Cruise, which was closed.
Mm-hmm. Because it was raining.
I guess that's why. I don't know. I mean, it was closed before that. When I went to go on it. I don't know. I guess this wasn't open. So no Jungle Cruise this trip, and no Jungle Cruise last trip either. So whatever. We all know how it goes. So, so I'm like, all right, it's time to head back to the Haunted Mansion. I'm
shocked.
And this would be my 4th ride of my trip, my 2nd of the night. And as I said, it was pouring rain, so it was just like. And I was just leaving Peter Pan, and so I mean, it is right there. I mean, that was another big decision why I went straight to the Haunted Mansion. And it ended up being a kind of a unique experience. Because by the time I got in there, and I walk in, and I get into the stretching room, there's 2 other people in there.
Nice.
And then I think, oh my God, I was so close to being in the stretching room by myself. I would have cried. I would have just laid on the floor and been like, yes. I would have said the whole spiel out loud because I refrained not to be a jerk for other people.
But when you mansion crawl, that's okay.
Right.
You know, when you do it at the end of the night where there's hardly any people or everybody else there is mansion crawling, which is exactly what you were doing.
Yes.
Then it's okay to say it. We're allowed.
All right. I didn't think about that, but still, I mean... So it's just me and these 2 other people, and the butler, who the opposite of everyone else, who was like really turning on the creep factor, decided since it was just the 3 of us to be the extreme opposite, and he was like super chipper and happy.
Interesting.
And he goes, "Hey, well, since it's just you guys, why don't I share some Haunted Mansion trivia with you? Wouldn't that be cool? All right, let's do this." And he just starts going through the whole spiel, talking about all this Haunted Mansion trivia. I'm like, this is really weird. I actually started recording it with my phone. It's because just to hear this like really chipper, energetic guy rambling off trivia.
That's awesome, though.
Yeah, no,
I would love that.
it was amusing, for to say the least. I'll be certainly playing. Let's play a clip of that right now.
Let's do that.
Actually stretching?
So it does have wear and
Or is
tear
it
on
your
because it does
imagination?
stretch. So every couple of years, it does
And
get a
consider
new
this
rating,
dismaying
and the artist that does it gives
observation.
its own simple touch. Sometimes it changes. So if you
chamber has
Wikipedia,
no
like the original one on the underwear, it's a little
and
different.
no door,
The gargoyles do talk to you at the end. They tell you to politely get out
which offers you this
and
chilling
keep your party
challenge
together.
to
Over there
find
it is
a
scrim,
way out.
so it's just a lighting effect. So when it lights from one side, it does get that over there. Okay.
Of course, there's always my way.
Then the doors do open. There are two
Oh, I
stretch
didn't
rooms
mean to
always running.
frighten you prematurely.
But now we're down to one stretch room.
The real chill.
So it was kind of interesting. I'd imagine that wasn't what he was supposed to be doing, especially since since everyone's turned up the creep factor. And then my favorite part of that is as soon as the door opens, as it's opening, there's this haunted mansion maid just like with her. You just see her head first tilt over, like peering through, just staring at me, just in like the creepiest position. Just like I was like, I love you guys so much. And I get on there, I sit on the ride, and I am just like, I'm just through the roof, man. It was so great. And then twice, this is the first time it happened, the ride stopped for about a minute right in front of Madame Leota, which is my favorite part of the ride.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And I was like, because the reason when I try to shoot video of her, it's not really good because it's moving and she's moving up and down and we're going side by side, But I was literally right in front of her, and I'm like, I just pulled up my phone real quick and shot a video on my phone. I was like, this is awesome.
Wizards and witches, wherever you dwell, give us a hint by ringing a bell. Serpents and spiders, tail of a rat, call in the spirits wherever they're at. Rachmanity, it's time to respond.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain seated. This ride will begin motion immediately.
Goblins and ghoulies from last Halloween. Awaken the spirits with your tambourine.
That is one of those things I don't want to know how they do it. I just want to keep pretending that's real. I will say, though, as I was stationary staring at it, I could totally see the wire that was lifting it up and down, though. So, have you ever noticed that before?
I, like you, I try not to. I like my Disney magic. But yeah, we got stuck in front of her one time, and I was like, let's really check this out since we're sitting here doing nothing. No, my favorite place to get stuck in the Haunted Mansion, though, is in the attic.
Yeah, that would be my second favorite place to get stuck for sure.
It's my favorite part of the mansion. Every time we go through, I'm like, please stop. Please
There's
just
so
stop.
much detail, and
Yes.
and that's one thing I noticed on my multiple rides through. Is I kept seeing new stuff in the attic like every time.
Yeah, I love the attic, and I love Constance. She's my favorite mansion character. I adore her.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be her when I grow up.
That's my second favorite character. But yeah, no, we went through, and that Disney high I told you about before, I was definitely on it right there, and I just immediately got off the ride and went right back on it again for my fifth ride.
Of course you did.
And it's one of those things where I feel like if I was with someone else, they wouldn't have done it. They've been like, and certainly was not the first time I did back-to-back convention rides by any means, but I don't feel like anyone else is really up for that.
I'd have done it.
And before I even said that, I was thinking, like, I know that you would have done it.
Yep.
So,
I totally would have.
But I would just in general, just the freedom of being like, I got off of this ride and I literally ran through the pouring rain for 5 seconds back to the entrance and went right back on it. And nobody stopped me. So by the time I got off that, it was like almost midnight. So I sat there and I'm like, this could be my last ride, but why don't I get one last mine train in?
Nice.
So that ended up being my last ride because I did enjoy it, as previously mentioned. And I went for the ride down there, and that literally was no line since it was about to close.
Since it was right at the end of the night.
Rain. And I thought about maybe should I not go on the ride since it's mostly outdoors and a roller coaster because it's pouring rain. Rain on roller coasters does not feel good. But,
That's cool though that they kept it open.
Yeah. I guess this is the brand new coaster, so they obviously built it for Florida weather, like in mind.
That's a very good point.
Yeah.
That is a very, very good point. Unlike the teacups, which
are covered,
are,
which is bizarre. But it's bizarre just bizarre when you're used to Disneyland's one.
Yeah, but when it rains here, it starts to sprinkle, and we have to close the teacups.
I also can't really go on those kind of rides anymore. I look at this dude spinning too much, so I'm not too worried about it. But, I don't know. But yeah, that was about it. I headed on out. I did my last mine train, and that ended not so scary. My thoughts on it, the mansion element of it was worth the price alone.
Right on.
All that stuff, like, especially since I didn't even know about it, that was so cool. I missed out on the character meet and greets I thought I was going to get. But to be honest, I didn't even realize I missed it until when I was thinking about it later. Like I was always busy doing something, so it wasn't like it wasn't as though like I was bummed about it while I was there. I was just thinking about it all later. I'm like, oh, what happened to those meet and greets I kept hearing about all the time?
Which is good.
Yeah.
It sucks that you missed out on them, but the fact that when you were there, you weren't missing it like that. That's what's important.
Yeah.
At least you weren't walking around being like, this sucks.
No, I didn't feel like it's like. I mean, I was annoyed at how crowded it was, and then when it started pouring rain, I mean, it wasn't awesome either. But whatever. I mean, you can't get mad about the weather.
No, you can't.
So, that wasn't my favorite thing, but I would definitely go again for that. I need to figure out what the lowest, slowest day is because I just it needs to be like about half the amount of people there would have made it a lot better for me.
Right on.
So I'll try to do a little bit lower thing there. I'm interested in seeing what's going on at Mickey's Halloween party in Disneyland. I would definitely try to see those kind of festivities as well. But
yeah, well, next year you'll be over here on the West Coast, and we will definitely go and do it together, and we'll tell everyone about it.
Okay, everyone can't wait.
I know, for a year, you guys will just be waiting with bated breath to hear how James and Roxy's trip at Disneyland for Mickey's Not So Scary went. I can't even say it with a straight face.
Yeah, everyone's gonna be waiting. But hey, man, if you're listening at this point, you have a vested interest in what we're doing, because at least you find it mildly amusing. So, anyways, that was my experience. So I'm gonna give it a B. I'm gonna give
right
it a
on.
B. I'm gonna give it a B. I'm gonna give it a solid B. So,
it's fair enough. That's a good grade.
Yeah.
I'd have been thrilled to get that grade.
It's not quite an A, but whatever. Nothing's really an A because nothing's really made for me particularly. So
Well, totally.
right, that's life. So, anyways, Roxy, thanks once again. Congratulations for being official contributor of Creepy Kingdom.
Yes, thank you for having me again, and thank you for making me an official contributor. I'm so excited now.
Right. So you don't have, so there's no more like thanks for coming on the show type conversations. It's like you just you're on it now. So it's just you never know when you're gonna pop up. So
That's awesome. So you guys should listen every week,
yeah.
or in the case of October, every day, to see,
Very good.
see when I might just pop up and bother James.
kind of like a Vanellope Von Sweet's Wreck-It Ralph kind of dynamic there.
Everyone loves a kid with dirty hair. Okay.
So, but I will let you plug yourself.
Oh, yes. If you want to find me or find more about me or hear my own podcast that I do with James as my producer co-host, you can go to roxy-tart.com and click on the podcast link, and or look at my photos or whatever else there is to do on my website. All kinds of stuff. Go look.
Oh, man, I'm going to do it right now.
And you can find me on my social networks, Twitter, Instagram, and Ello at Roxy_Tart. So find me there.
All right. And breaking news, the Jim Henson Company is developing a sequel to Labyrinth.
I saw that. I believe the headline I read was David Bowie or We Riot.
I just see the headline, and I don't know when this episode is going to come out, but I think it'd be funny just to time capsule it there. All right. Well, thanks, Roxy. Thanks, everyone, for listening.
Yes, thank you all so much for listening and for tuning in to hopefully every day of our creepy days, 31 days.
I love that you're part of the Creepy Kingdom family now.
that.
It's exciting, man. You jumped right in there. I'm going to put you to work now that you're part of the team, and you got a lot of stuff to do.
This is awesome. I love it. I'm going to get creepier every day.
Woo.
Ooh, no, you know what this means? This means that your creepy kingdom is about to get all glittery.
We can't have that.
I'll use black glitter.
All right.